Hey guys, my name is Fabio Salas and welcome to the Living Mad channel. Now, this being my first YouTube video ever for this channel, I thought I would take a couple minutes and just kind of explain to you what Living Mad is and what you can expect from this channel. So, first thing is, what is MAD? M-A-D. All it means is my American dream. So Living Mad, living my American dream. Now you're probably wondering, who the heck is this guy? What qualifies him to tell me about the American dream? A million questions, right? So let me just try to explain why I think you can get something or you can benefit out of what I can tell you. So a little bit of history about me. I'm an active duty Marine Corps officer. I've been a Marine for 19 years. This past March was 19 years. And as I look back on my career, you know, I think about all the experiences I've had, mistakes I've made in my life, and just so many life experiences that I've had thanks to being in the Marine Corps, thanks to being a father, husband, so many other things. And I know that I've learned a lot along the way. And as a Marine, as a leader, it has been my job to help young Marines, young people, you know, fresh to the Marine Corps, especially 18, 19-year-olds fresh out of high school, to help them learn how to do life, basically. Because, you know, in school we learn math, we learn science, we learn all those things, but we don't learn how to do life. We don't learn how to be a better parent, how to be a better husband, how to manage our money. We don't learn those things. So as a Marine leader, it falls upon us to try to help those young Marines and lead better, productive lives. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes when I was younger. Sometimes I had good advice, sometimes I didn't. So one of the things that has become important to me is to try to help people live a better life. Now, fast forward to the present, I just moved to Illinois 2 months ago, early April. My new job is to be a Marine officer instructor at the University of Illinois. So that's part of the ROTC program. Maybe I'll talk about that later on in another video. But basically, my job here is to be an assistant professor within the ROTC program at the University of Illinois. So when I got here, I was thinking, okay, I've got 3 years here. How do I make this job my own? How do I impact and influence these young men and women that are going to college with the hopes of becoming Marine officers? And as I thought about it, 19 years in the Marine Corps, I've got a lot of experiences, a lot of things that I can pass on to them. But the main things I thought about were the things that I wish I knew when I was their age. You know, they're going to be graduating college at 21, 22 years old. So my thought process was, yes, I've got to teach them military science. I've got to teach them evolution of warfare, all these military things that they need to learn in order to be better prepared to be Marine officers. But ultimately, the main thing I want to try to get across to them is how to live life, how to have a better life, how to make sure that they set themselves up for success, whether they do 19 years in the Marine Corps like I have, or they do 4 or 5 years and get out and go on to pursue other dreams. So as I thought about that, I realized, okay, these are the kind of topics I want to talk to them about, develop them throughout their time in college. But then I started to think, there's so much I want to say to them, and I wish I could just spread it out to the whole world. There's only so much influence I can put out there just by talking to my students at the school, or when I was at the base. There's only so much influence I can have with the Marines on the base. So I started to think I would love to be able to just share my knowledge with a wider audience. So came the idea for this YouTube channel. So that's kind of my background, a little bit about me, why I think you should watch, and hopefully you get something out of it. So there's 4 main topics that I plan to cover in my various videos in this channel. So the first one is family and friends. Regardless of whether you want to get married, you want to stay single forever, whatever the case may be, I believe that relationships are a critical component of a happy life, of living my American dream. You don't have to be married, or you can be married. You don't have to have kids, or you can have kids. It's all up to you. But the people you have around you, friends, co-workers, family, all of that, I think is an integral part of living your American dream. It's very difficult, in my opinion, to live a satisfied, calm, successful life if you don't have a support network of some kind. So I want to talk about that, my ideas on it, things that I've learned over the years, between learning to forgive, learning to choose the people around me, so many different things, but all revolving around family and friends and what the lessons I've learned have done for me in my search for happiness. The second thing I want to talk about is money. Now, money is kind of a touchy subject. Some people are all about talking about it. Some people are a little hesitant to talk about it, whether they're in debt, whatever the case may be, but it can be a touchy subject. One of the main reasons why marriages fall apart is money, right? Couples fight about money. Some want to spend too much, some want to spend, or some want to save a lot, and they can't find a happy medium. So money is a huge topic. Regardless of whether you want to be a millionaire or you just want to make enough to live comfortably, maybe you want to leave some for your children and your grandkids when you pass away, whatever the case may be, money is going to be a part of it. Now, how much money, that's something that only you can define. I can't tell you you need $1 million before you retire, or you need $5 million before you retire. Now, in some of my videos, I do plan to discuss some of the I guess rules that are out there about how to retire comfortably, you know, how much you should have saved. I'm going to talk about some of those things, but in the end, how much money you have is a very personal decision. I can tell you I want to be a millionaire. That's a goal of mine. But what does that even mean? What's the purpose behind it? And so the other thing is, you know, does it matter if you live in poverty, or does it matter if you make $10 million a year? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. So that's some of the things I want to discuss in the videos. But money is going to be a big thing. I invest in real estate, so I'm going to talk about real estate. Something that I started when I was very young, as a 22-year-old Marine. Bought my first house. I'll talk about some of the things I learned along the way, mistakes I made in real estate that lost me a lot of money, positive things I've made in real estate that have made me some money. So I want to talk about that. I'll talk about investing in index funds. I'll talk about stocks. I've tried a lot of different things. Some have made me money, some have lost me money. So hopefully by me sharing my experiences with you, with the mistakes and successes I've had with money, you can learn a little bit something, maybe do something better, or maybe do something that'll help your life be a little bit better. And if you're already doing all those things, great. We can share, we can talk about it in the comments, we can spread the knowledge so that other people out there hopefully don't make the same mistakes that we did and can live on, I guess, what's the word? Less stressful lives, basically. Because here's the thing about money, if you don't manage your money correctly, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, if you're constantly in debt, you're gonna stress about money. So that's why I wanna talk about it, and a lot of my videos are gonna revolve around that. Another thing I wanna talk about, number 3, is work. I'm lucky. I honestly feel lucky and blessed that 19 years in the Marine Corps, and I'm still loving this. I'm gonna be here in Illinois for 3 years. That'll put me at 22. And as of right now, I'm not looking to retire in 3 years. I could retire at 20 years if I wanted to, but I love what I do. I don't know how this idea of being a Marine started, but my earliest memory of it is 7th grade. 7th grade, little bitty kid. I was, I don't know what, 12 years old or so at the time. And I have a little picture I made in art class that our teacher gave us a piece of aluminum foil, said, draw whatever you want to draw. I drew an Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, which is the symbol for the Marine Corps. It said, soon to be the #1 fighter pilot in the Marine Corps. Now, spoiler alert, I did not become a fighter pilot in the Marine Corps. I am a Marine Corps officer, but I'm not a fighter pilot. But I fulfilled my dream of becoming a Marine Corps officer, and that was, you know, from when I was very little. So I'm lucky, but I know that not everybody is as fortunate as I am. I know that there's a lot of you out there who hate your job. Matter of fact, there's Marines serving who hate being in the Marine Corps. And so it's not like my job is the perfect job, or, you know, maybe somebody being a doctor loves being a doctor because they're saving lives. But there's a lot of doctors out there who just feel stressed out because of the hours. Nurses who feel stressed out because of the hours. Attorneys who feel stressed out from all the administrative work. Regardless of what job you talk about, there's people who love it and there's people who hate it. But that's why I want to talk about it, because it's a big part of it. Labor of Statistics says that the average American works 44 hours a week. 44 hours a week, so just a little bit over full time. Now, I don't know about you, but I generally work a lot more than 40 hours a week. I would say in an average week, especially at the bases, I worked somewhere around 55 to 60 hours a week. When I deploy, and I'm in random places like Kuwait or Mongolia or some of the other places I've been, I've worked 80 hours a week. I was a drone starter 10 years ago. That's why my voice sounds the way it does now. And I'll tell you, when I was a drone starter, I worked 90 hours a week, sometimes more. So, you know, my point is, We spend a lot of time at work every single week. Every one of us does. Well, not everyone. There's some people who have the 4-hour work week, right? They figured out the little tricks to the game. But the majority of us, we spend a lot of time at work. So if you hate your job, if you are miserable going to work, if your alarm goes off in the morning and you don't want to get up because the thought of going into work, facing your coworkers, having to deal with your boss, just the dread of going in just melts you down and makes you feel depressed, that's a big deal. That's not a happy life. So I want to talk about work. I'm not saying that, what I'm going to tell you is going to immediately get you out of that job and onto bigger and better things. But there are a couple things that I've learned that I think can, give you different perspectives about work and hopefully help with that part of your life. Now, the fourth thing I want to talk to you about is freedom of choice. What do I mean by freedom of choice? I think that one of the biggest aspects of living the American dream, of having a happy life, is having freedom. We live in America, right? We say this is the land of opportunity, the land of freedom, all of these things, right? Well, I think that's an important part of it. And there's so many different things about freedom. There's freedom of religion, freedom of the press, freedom of just living the life that you want to live, Maybe there's countries where people are forced to marry because of political or social pressures or whatever the case may be. There's places where women aren't allowed to work. There's places where there's religious persecution. There's places where rape is an accepted common thing. There's all these things going on in the world out there that make life really difficult for the people in those countries. And here in America, although our lives are not perfect, our nation is not perfect, we have a lot of problems still, we still have a lot of freedom that other countries do not. And I think that's great. I appreciate that. I love being an American. I love being here because of the freedoms that I get. So having freedom of choice is something that a lot of people just don't have. Whether it's because they're working 80 hours a week in jobs they don't like. Maybe it's because they're stuck in a marriage that, just doesn't fulfill them. They don't feel loved. They're mistreated. Maybe they want kids and they don't have any or can't have any. Whatever the case may be, a lot of people just feel trapped in their lives. And that's unfortunate. Just thinking about it, it breaks my heart to know that there's people out there who can't just come out on a beautiful day like this. Beautiful sun out, got this nice little lake behind me, nice relaxing environment. There's people who just can't enjoy this because they're so busy with all the little things that take up their lives. And it's not necessarily things that they enjoy or that fulfills them or makes them happy. So here's the thing. If you get the first three things right, we talked about the family and friends, money, and work. If you get those three things right, the fourth one just comes as a natural occurrence of it, the freedom of choice. If you know how to manage your money, if you've got a good support network, people who care about you, people who love you, people that you care about and love, and if you enjoy your work, if you don't dread getting up in the morning to go to work, if you got those three things right, it gives you so much more freedom. Freedom to get out and enjoy days like today. Freedom to go out and spend a day at the park with your family. Freedom to volunteer if that's what you want to do. Freedom to give money to other people who need it. Just freedom to do whatever it is you want, which ultimately leads to living a happy life, feeling fulfilled. It's hard to feel fulfilled when you feel trapped, whether it's by circumstances or choice. It's very hard to live the American dream if you feel trapped. So all of this revolves around the idea of having freedom, feeling like we get to choose what kind of life we lead, and we're happy about the life that we lead. So it all revolves around that. All right, guys, I hope you have a better understanding now of what this channel is going to be about. Hopefully it's topics that you feel will help you. I think they can help everybody, and I feel very passionate about this. I'm excited to kind of put my message out there. I know there's other people out there putting out the messages as well. I watch a lot of podcasts about money, about relationships, about all these things, but I wanted to just put for one, to get my voice out there for people to hear what I have to say about it, but for two, just to kind of put it all into one place, one-stop shop of, where can I get advice on relationships, where can I get advice on money, all these things. So hopefully you'll get something out of this. I really hope you do, and hopefully it helps you figure out a few little strategies to help you live a better, not a better, but a happier life, if you're not already doing that. All right, so that's it from me, guys. If you enjoyed this, if you think this is something you'd like, go ahead and hit that like button. While you're at it, click the subscribe button. I don't know how the whole YouTube algorithm works, but apparently if you like the video and you subscribe to my channel, it helps. So we can hopefully get more people interested in the channel, just get the message out there that this channel actually exists. So please, if you took the time to see it all the way to the end, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified next time I upload a video. Plan to do this every week, 1 to 2 videos a week. Again, different topics, so you'll get notified every time I do. All right, thanks guys. Today's the 3rd, tomorrow's the 4th. Make sure you go out with your families and friends and enjoy the fireworks and enjoy our Independence Day. See you in the next video.